Hello, YouTube. This is ZiggyNo with my YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame nominees for 2021, 22. I guess that's what this would be, 21 season, going in 22, I don't know. But anyway, first of all, I'm new to this. I have not participated in the Hall of Fame voting in the past. I'm excited to do it this year. This is my first year doing it. I'm going to give you 6 Hall of Fame recommendations. I'm going to give you reason behind them, and I'm going to give you a little information about what this whole contest is about. So first off, if you're out there and you have a YouTube channel and you've been around for at least a year, I encourage you to vote and vote for these nominees. And I'll tell you why you should vote for these nominees, okay? And if you're new and you're just checking out this channel, check out these channels that are putting out content. I think it's great. Support them. Give them a sub if you want to. Also, do some searching for the Hall of Fame. I'll give you some links and you'll learn a lot about sports cards. There's just so much really good content out here, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me first of all say that when I started looking at this, I realized that a lot of the content that I watch is relatively new, like in the last 1 to 2 years since the boom, what I refer to as the COVID boom. Not many of it, and I say that because in order to be nominated, you have to have 3 years of content, 3 years of a channel being out, and if you have 1 year in order to vote for them. So I have up here the Lucky Leprechaun Jake, who used to be, I think he was I forget the name of this channel. He's now a Legends Never Die channel. He's managing the rules and the counting and the tabulation for this. So I'll drop a link below and you can go check out his link and learn more. I thought I'd also mention, here are the current Hall of Famers. I'm gonna come back to this in a second. Here are the guys I'm going to nominate. I'm telling you this real quickly. I want to get this up front, and then I'm going to come back explaining who they are. So first of all, Breaker Culture, a great channel. I mean, they speak for themselves. They should be on the Hall of Fame list. 90s baseball, Bball Cards, basketball cards, great channel. Because I'm Carlos, great channel. These 3 are just easy ones, man, easy ones. Brody the Kid, another very good channel. I'm going to talk about this one. I think he's well deserving. There's a qualifier there, I'll talk about why in a minute. Extreme Card Breaks was a breaker, but now puts out a lot of content that's good for the community, and I'll talk about this as well. And then last, Tyler Short, right? So these are my recommendations, nominations for the Hall of Fame this year, and I'll go through them in just a moment. Let me come back here quickly to talk about this. What I thought was interesting is this has been going for 4 years. So there's 40, I think they did 10 people, one every year were selected to the Hall of Fame, started 4 years ago. And now we're what? In year 5, only 5 channels will make the Hall of Fame. So looking at these lists, I'll be honest, I only know a few of these by regular subscriptions. A couple of them I've heard of or followed. Baseball Card Collector, huge fan of his. He's part of Bench Player, Cardboard Collector, Card Cutter. Elite Rico, Myco, Pepino Man, Ray from Philly, Silverjack of I mentioned the ones that I follow regularly, and I'm not trying to discourage, but these are other ones I can learn. Snoop, I follow those back pages. Whisker Griff, Bob Lewis, Filmington. Again, many that didn't realize were in the Hall of Fame. I haven't been following. Blinded by Refractors, Mangini Collection, Mangini Collection, Triple Crown. Bowman 53, Fisher Bike, Up North Collectors. I did not know they were in the Hall of Fame. Zombie Collector. Anyway, really good group there. But here's my point. When I look at my list of channels that I subscribe to, right? Let me go over here. Well, I'll go over here. Now I'll just go over here. I'm looking at something different. So the reason I decided to recommend Breaker Culture, first of all, I can't believe they're not in the Hall of Fame. Ty, who runs Breaker Culture, is one of the most influential guys in sports cards and sports card content creation. Really like Ty, great guy, just knows the space. And like I said, putting content together for years. I started following Breaker Culture back in 2016. This is when the breaker world was very, was evolving. It was a wild west. This is crazy. This is before the the COVID boom. But back in like 2015, 16, breakers were still trying to decide who's the best breaker. There were scams going on. Brandon Cooks to 99. Breaker Culture is key. Has to be in the Hall of Fame. Really should be on the Hall of Fame before, and I'm going to really be lobbying strong to get other votes for these guys to get them in. Next one is Basketball Cards, 1990s basketball cards. Look, I've been following this young man for a while, and he's always put out some good content. I look back, and he's put over 3 years. He has to have 3 years of content. He does that. He's just fun. He's lighthearted. I enjoy him. I've talked to him in Facebook groups. We don't always agree eye to eye on everything, right? He's a 90s basketball guy. I'm a collector of everything type of thing. but I really like this channel and well deserving. And it would bring some basketball and some youth, I think, to the Hall of Fame, which they could use when you look at their lineup. Next one is Because I'm Carlos. Because I'm Carlos belongs there because he's Carlos. If you know Carlos, first of all, I like the fact he's a contrarian. He's one of the few channels that actually has a contrarian voice who actually speaks his mind. It's funny. I've never been on his channel directly. We've been, engaged through chat, stuff like that. He's made some videos kind of poking at me once before. I haven't forgotten about that, Carlos. But I appreciate that, right? He keeps everything real. And I like the fact, again, he's been putting out content for a long time. Collector at heart, really deserving of this. Needs to be in this video, guy, or needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Next one is Brody the Kid. Now, look, Brody the Kid, the reason I bring this up is Brody the Kid has this channel. He also has the Hobby Life. And he's on the Hobby Hotline. Now, this channel qualifies, I think, because he had a first video 3 years ago. I like Brody the Kid. I like him, A, because he's a kid putting out content, and this is supposed to be a kid's hobby. But you got to give him credit for the longevity. I mean, the fact that he has content that can go back 3 years in itself for a young man really deserves Hall of Fame mention. So I would get to strongly, lobby for and nominate and vote for Brody the Kid. The next one is Extreme Card Breaks. Now, I'll be honest. When I first came across Extreme, they were in the breaking business, and I didn't really follow them very much. A friend of mine was in them. Excuse me for a second. Oh, achoo! Achoo! We're gonna have to keep going ahead with those. I'm just sorry, we're not cutting that out, right? We're gonna move forward. Extreme Breaks. What I like in the last, I guess, 2 years during the COVID boom, they've been putting out a lot of other content, scam content, alerting content, information. A fan of them. I can see them not qualifying. I kind of on the fence about them, but if I'm picking up a list, I'm nominating these guys for Hall of Fame. I think they're Hall of Fame content. They blur the line there with the breaking piece. That's not their primary thing. Like I said, they put a lot of other content out, and they've got a lot of history. And the guy who runs the channel, just a deep, really like his stuff. The next one up I have here is Tyler Short, and Tyler Short kind of reminds me of a Lico, right? Lico 3. Grades cards, it shows you what he's doing, very busy, very active. Again, his channel's been around for 3 years. I've learned a lot, love his style. I don't know how many people follow him. A lot of people have to be on his radar. So if you haven't already, check him out, Short Slabs. Tyler Short, again, I like his channel, would recommend it. So let me just also quickly say why I have this up here. I want to mention, I was looking at some of these, and there's a couple that, like Wade Boggs fan, big fan of his channel, hasn't been around for 3 years. Vegas Finds just hasn't around right now. He's kind of disappeared. Trike, not around for long enough. Titan Sports Cards, Titan Sports Cards might be another one to look at. Some of these are already on the list. Here's a few that were not on the list that I was shocked by. Who else did I have on here? Canadian Cards, didn't have enough time. Bobbles and Ball Cards was another one I wanted to recommend. Anyway, those are my nominations for the Hall of Fame this year. Again, in closing, I have their Breaker Culture with Ty. I have their Jake with 90s Bball Cards. Carlos, Because I'm Carlos. Brody at Brody the Kid. I forget the gentleman's name, runs Extreme Card Breaks. Why is that name slipping my mind? That's funny. And Tyler at Tyler Short. So with that being said, team, hope you like it. Leave your comments, thoughts, feedback, all that other stuff. Bye-bye.